Hello everyone, and welcome to our day 11 of our at-home yoga series. It's really flown by. Today we're going to be focusing on postures that will enhance shoulder flexibility and better your posture. So I just want to say that when we're focusing on these things, we're really cueing certain phrases in yoga, and those things are typically things like opening up the chest, or bringing your heart to the sky, or keeping your shoulders down away from the ears, not letting them ride up towards your ears, or also bringing the shoulder blades down and back, or if you're laying down flat on your back, having the shoulder blades lay flat on the ground but away from your ears. So the reason why we cue things like that in yoga is to really counteract some muscles that are typically getting overused in our daily life, and that's because we tend to, as a society, have more of a forward rounding shoulder, kind of coming in towards your midline, forward, neck posture, and things like that, from sitting at a computer, from reading our phones or books and things like that. So these postures over time do take a toll on your body. That's why infants and children are so young and bendy and fun. But over time, our posture as a society just kind of takes its toll, and we want to reverse some of that with what we're doing in our yoga postures. Actually, one more thing I wanted to bring up too is, despite posture being very important, what even is more important is moving your body frequently, because even if you have the most perfect posture, it's been shown that if you stay in that posture for too long, you're still going to have aches and pains. Your body doesn't like sitting in one posture for a super long amount of time. And I'm not talking about our yoga postures, which we're holding for 5 breaths or a minute or whatever. I'm more talking about if you're slouching on your couch and you're really comfortable, and then whoop, a whole hour goes by and you haven't moved. Your body really doesn't like that. So even more important than having good posture or stressing sitting, super well all the time, which I know none of us do, what's even more important is just taking frequent breaks from sitting in any posture, and getting up and moving. So on that note, what better way to get moving than a quick 30-minute yoga session? So I'll have us all start at the top of our mats with a pranayama deep breathing exercise, and then a quick flow through sun salutation to warm up. All right, so everyone start, feet touching, hands interlaced underneath your chin, and we're going to start with the inhale, bringing elbows in, up, close to our ears. And now we're going to exhale and fog the windshield above us. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, last time. Exhale. And go ahead and let the arms relax down by your side. Roll out the shoulders down and back if you need to. And now we'll start with our sun salutation warm-up, starting with mountain pose here. Deep breath, bringing the arms wide open up to the sky. And exhale, we're sitting back into chair pose. A few deep breaths here. Keep the weight in your heels. Engage that core. Inhale one more time. Exhale and forward fold. Go ahead and walk out one foot at a time. Still warming up the low back here. And we'll come up with the inhale to a flat back, and then you're going to exhale and fold. And now stepping back slowly, one foot at a time, plank pose. Engage that core, press into those fingertips to offload the weight on your wrists. Try to imagine your entire spine being straight during this pose, even your neck. So don't let the head fall down. Engage. Bring down the knees. Slowly lower, keep those elbows tucked in. And we're gonna come up to a baby cobra. And relax down. Tuck the toes under. We're gonna come back into a downward dog. Plant the left foot, right coming up. As we pause here in three-legged dog, try to even the weight between your shoulders. Really be cognizant of that. Squeeze that core, bring the right foot through. We're gonna stop at a low lunge here. Now we're gonna bring the hands to the knee. Check in with that pelvic tilt. Make sure you're not arching the low back too much. We're going to come up a little taller, bringing a slight bend to that back leg. Again, check with the pelvic tilt. And now let's come up to cactus arms, as I call them. So we're giving a little bit of a variation today to focus in on their shoulders. Deep breaths here. And now straighten the elbows out, so we're kind of coming into an airplane hands. Remember not to shrug your shoulders up, keep them relaxed and low. Back to cactus. And we're gonna come back down. Right foot back to plank. Knees down, slowly lower. Baby cobra. On the exhale, power back into downward dog. Plant the right foot, bring the left one up. Stepping all the way through. We're first going to come hands on knee. Hold a couple seconds. Then we're going to bend slightly that back leg, come into a more upright posture, crescent pose. And we're going to bring those arms out to a cactus again. Not actually sure that that's a yoga term, by the way, but I do love me some cactus arms. Standing back to airplane. Imagine the heart coming up towards the sky for this one. Imagine your crown coming tall. Back to cactus. And we're coming back to plank. down, slowly lower. Baby cobra. Let's just slightly look over our right shoulder. Slowly look over our left shoulder. Let's do that again because it felt good. Looking left. Back down. Curl the toes under. Inhale. Use your powerful exhale to shoot back into downward dog. Deep breaths. And now let's slowly kind of just cross walk back towards our hands, towards the top of the mat, towards our forward fold. And I want us to just roll slowly up, one vertebrae at a time, to our mountain pose. Alrighty, catch your breath, come back to center. And now we're going to focus in on some shoulder stretches. So we're going to start with what's called eagle pose. We're actually just going to be doing a half of eagle pose. So most of the time eagle pose involves crossing the legs and crossing the arms. We're just going to focus on the arms today. So we're going to first inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, wrap the right arm underneath the left arm, and you're going to grab together. And now you're going to pull downwards. Bring your hands, your fists together in prayer if you can, if not just grasping, and kind of pull down so it's getting closer and closer to underneath your chin. Feeling a nice stretch across the top of the shoulders. Imagining the shoulders going low, low. And we're going to release. Now we're going to bring the arms up. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, left arm under, grasping here, and then pulling down. The goal is to one day have your hands in prayer together, straight across your midline. One day. Relax the arms, kind of shake it out a little bit. Now we're going to move into cow face arms. So you're going to inhale, bring arms up. Then exhale, your right arm is going to bend, your left arm is going to come behind you. So your hands are touching right here. I prefer not to have a full-on grasp in order to stretch yourself. I prefer just laying one on top of the other and, if you will, using your mind to stretch yourself. So just think, pulling down with that right hand, pulling up with that left hand. Your left hand, back of your hand should be flat on your back. Right hand, palm of your hand flat on the back. And just imagine laying them flat in between your shoulder blades. And don't make the mistake of compensating by bending your neck forward because you're trying to stretch this too hard. Try to think again about opening the chest with this one. And go ahead and release down. Shake it out a little bit. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, we're going to bring left arm bending, right arm behind. Deep breaths, don't lose track of the breath. Don't fold in, open up. ahead and release, shake it out a little bit. So next we're going to bring the feet wide, slightly pigeon-toed, and we're going to grasp our hands behind us, like so. And once you feel like you can grab there, think about pulling down again with those shoulders, like you're lifting off slightly from behind you and really opening that chest, feeling the shoulder blades pulling themselves down. Make sure you're not arching the low back too much because of the focus on the upper. We're trying to open the thoracic, but we don't want to compensate with the lower spine for that. Focus in on the breathing still. And now we're going to take this one step farther if you feel like you're able. If not, perfectly fine to hold where you're at. You're going to just slowly start leaning forward, try to maintain that grip. And slowly coming up. So go ahead, roll out the shoulders a little bit, roll out the wrists a little bit if they've got a little stiff in that last one. And next, we'll be moving on towards the floor series. So let's start first in child's pose. Knees about as wide as the mat, toes together, and fully extending here. Get a nice stretch in the shoulders, in the low back, maybe in the legs a little bit. And slow down your heart rate just a little bit by taking some deep breaths. Alrighty, now we're going to come up to what I call extended puppy pose. So you're going to kind of come to all fours here, but then you're going to lean your arms down kind of like in child's pose and keeping the bottom high in the air. You're going to extend those arms down, slightly deeper stretch for those shoulders. Go ahead and lean back into child's pose now. A little bit of relief here. Then we're going to thread that right arm through for thread the needle pose. Bring right ear to your mat. And hold. Take a few deep breaths. And bring the right arm forward. Thread the left arm through. Coming back into center to child's pose. And now we're going to come up into all fours just as a transition and then straight back into downward dog again. And we're going to come into what's called dolphin pose next. So it's basically a downward dog but coming on to the elbows. Deep breath in, really stretching the shoulders back. And pressing back up into downward dog. And coming back to your center. All right. Now I want us to finish with our usual Savasana. to calm things down for the end of our practice. But I want to switch things up a little bit today. It would be helpful if you have a small pillow or a towel or a blanket that you can kind of roll up, or a foam roller works perfectly. So I'm just going to use my towel that I've been having out during my practice. And I'm just going to roll this right up into a cylinder about yay big. I'm going to place this underneath my back, basically from the base of my skull going straight down my midline. And we call this a supported fish pose. It's going to give you a nice opening of the chest. So you're going to lay on down, and you're going to bring your arms behind you here to support your head, unless you have a pillow handy, and then you can prop your head up with that and bring the arms down. Or option, you can slide down slightly lower, and here, if you get a good enough stretch with that, that works. And we're going to close the eyes, bring the heels together, let the toes fall open naturally. And we're just going to take a few deep breaths. And move your left hand and then your right hand to your heart. Feel your shoulders kind of sinking down around whatever prop you're using. Nice, relaxing. And just kind of give yourself a thank you for taking some time out of your day to do something good for your body. We're going to open our eyes now and come back to a seated position. So now I just want us to finish this quick with just a couple of neck stretches. So bringing right ear to your right shoulder. Imagine this left shoulder sinking low, feeling a nice stretch down the side of your neck. Few deep breaths. I love that supported fish pose. It's so relaxing to me. Key is getting the perfect props though. Go ahead and switch sides. Once you find that perfect size thing to fit there, it's really, really relaxing. Great to do right before bed. 5 minutes of meditating. Good posture here. Nice supported breath still. Winding down our practice. Just 2 more stretches now. We're going to do down to the right. So you're aiming your stretch just slightly more towards the back body compared to your last stretch. It's just a small variation. And release. We'll do the same to the left. release. So I hope that that was a relaxing way to release some tension from your shoulders and neck today. If you notice that you had any pain or issues during this class, we at Home and Rehab can certainly help you with that. So if you live in Florida, anywhere in the state, you can schedule a telehealth visit with any of our doctors of physical therapy. And this is something that's covered by your health insurance. And if you're a local, we are currently taking new patients in both of our offices, one in Claremont, one in Ocoee, and we're taking all proper precautions during this time, of course. So check out the links in the comment below if you're interested, and you can schedule a consultation. And I will be seeing the rest of you guys Thursday, 5:30, for a continuation of our yoga series at home. Thanks, and namaste.